Hello. As you can see, I'm an emoji. A meh, to be exact. Anywho, it's my pleasure to announce our first movie. Yay. It's almost too thrilling for words. So bring the family. Doesn't have to be your family. The Emoji Movie.
So I told management, I can't work like this. These lights, I'm melting in here. This is such a load of...
No, go ahead. Finish that sentence.
Come out and see it this August. I'm positively euphoric right now. I might have to go lay down.
Express yourself.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of any major corporation whatsoever.
Welcome to the Pope on Film. I am Bunny Williams, and with me is
Reverend Steve. I am the founder of the Church of Ed Wood, father of many children, bipolar PTSD suffering, former employee with a corporation that will remain nameless, amateur surgeon. I a lover, not a fighter.
yes,
Poet, and all around nice guy. It has been raining all week here in Nowhere, Oklahoma.
really
Raining, snowing, ice. The kids didn't have school Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
because of the
just-
snow and stuff, or is it
Yeah,
just
it was less snow and more freezing rain made the entire city into an ice rink.
yeah.
And it was really nasty. And then the kids have all been sick too. So the thing is though, is with the weather, like right now, the ice and the snow has melted, but it's raining and it's this really cold rain. And I feel like somehow I'm doing this. Like my mood
Yeah,
is controlling the weather, you know?
it is very possible.
And then, of course, all of these, especially the two younger ones, they're sick and they have fevers going in and out. And the only thing that can make these sick kids feel better is cuddling their dad.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's been fun
Getting
for me.
problematic? I don't know how to exactly put it. It's your kids.
Yeah, but if there's one thing that's guaranteed to make you feel good physically, it's having feverish kids all over you. At one point, I was yawning and Eleanor sneezed directly into my mouth.
Oh,
That's the joys of parenthood.
baby
So I'm not.
boogers.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can tell, but my voice isn't 100% right now.
I can tell.
It's been better.
Yeah.
So I've got like a party girl voice. I have.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Jeannie
I
agrees.
have that.
I was like that all week too. There was one day
Yeah.
when I kept losing my voice, it would go away, and then it would come back. Then it would go away, and then it would come
Oh
back.
my god. I had so much fun at that club last night. That's
Yes.
my voice. That's my voice right now. It's awesome.
Cool.
Sick kids. Bunny,
Yes.
I try to be positive.
Yes, you do.
I try to smile and kid and joke around. Basically, in my family, I try to be the comic relief, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the good cop. In fact, there's no way that my wife would ever agree with the following statement. But my humor, my dry dad humor and dad comedy and bad puns, they perfectly counteract my wife's persona, you know?
Her persona.
It works. Without me counteracting my wife's persona, I'm not saying serial killer. I'm just saying multiple universes, Bunny. We
Yeah.
are constantly surrounded by an infinite number of alternate realities where an infinite number of possibilities occur. And in that sense, anything is literally possible if you just think about existence in the proper context. And out there in the infinite ether, a number of my wives are busy dextering it up, is all I'm saying. And the reason why.
I could see it. That's all I'm saying. I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. And the reason why she's out there dextering it up is because she doesn't have the counterbalance,
Uh-huh.
which is me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to find out what her ritual is.
Yeah. 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 I'll have to ask her. So I've strayed from my original point, which is weird because that never happens.
No.
I always try to smile, Bunny, and it's hard to still smile and joke and be positive when your livelihood has been violently taken away from you.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard, any new listeners out there, long story short, I used to work at a place where both the employees and the managers repeatedly promised me that I had the most secure job in the entire company, only to be ruthlessly terminated without warning in an event that is yet to get an official agreed upon name. Some people call it the purge. Some people call it the red time, the culling of the herd, the red wedding, bloody February. Anywho, I'm trying to deal, but it's hard.
Yeah.
I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. I know that sounds like a cat poster. It's true. So, positives, Bunny.
Yes.
Positives. I could rattle
Yes.
on and on and on about how hard this is, how depressed I am, how it's wildly reckless, how wildly reckless it is to hire a man who then develops PTSD during an incident at work along with bipolar disorder and then to fire said person without warning. That's figurative, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live a more positive.
You might want to just ask around about that, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to be positive here. Trying to live a more positive life. To quote the New Zealand show Short Poppies, it's all about the pulse. All the pulse, man. The positivity. So yes, I was fired, but let's try and spin this thing.
All
Let's try
right.
and turn a frown upside down, Molly Brown. Let's discuss. And I've given a name to this, but it's similar to a song, so I'm gonna just sing this.
Okay.
Let's discuss the positives of firing.
Firing.
The positives of losing your job. So I've got some positives here.
Okay.
Number one, saying paper cuts would be cliche.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say paper cuts is number one because there's something worse than paper cuts.
Okay. What's worse than paper cuts?
Cardboard cuts.
Cardboard cuts. Yeah. Yeah.
When you're handling boxes, those hurt like an SOB, and they're stronger than paper cuts. And sometimes you don't even know that you have them until you use hand sanitizer.
Oh.
And suddenly you're screaming in pain.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I felt that.
yeah. I could tell with the impressive gruttle, gutter, that moan you did. That was impressive. So no more nasty cuts. That's positive.
That's positive.
Yeah. Number 2, selling membership cards. I sucked at selling membership cards.
Yeah.
I was horrible at it. Every time I tried to sell one, I felt a bit cheap,
Yeah.
Probably because I'm annoyed whenever anyone tries to sell me one. That's one of the reasons why I've never been a big fan of GameStop.
Yeah.
They always try to sell you.
Yeah, even fucking Walgreens, Yeah, have our rewards card? No. You can get, yeah, and I'll put it in my wallet and forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's never coming out again.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
And I don't need that fucking pressure.
Yeah. So it's refreshing to know that I will no longer be shamed for having a low membership card percentage.
Yeah.
That's good. Number 3, and this is
They used to shame you for that?
Oh yeah, you would have to get a specific percentage of your transactions. A specific percentage of them would have to be membership card sales.
Would they like corner you in the shower and throw tampons at you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I hate the corporate world.
So what Maxwell? No. Go up. That one. There you go. Number 3, and this is a big one for me. This is probably the biggest positive. Death by deer attack.
Okay.
The probability of me dying from a deer attack has gone down considerably.
That is a very good thing.
Because deer, they're killers. More people die from deer than from sharks.
Yes.
Or falling coconuts. Thank you, Maxwell. That was really good.
Or robotic chainsaws that have huge guns that can kill a metal wall that has a bigger gun than it.
Sure. I was just about to say that. So I would drive like 50 minutes to and from work.
Yeah.
It would take me about 50 minutes to get there, 50 minutes to get back. I'm driving through woods and forests and the most rural areas imaginable, and I regularly saw deer. One time a deer did jump in front of my car, and my car was not the same since.
Emotionally?
Yeah, physically and emotionally, my car was not the same.
Ah, okay.
So I was always worried that I was going to get hit again. So now, I have a better life expectancy now.
That's a good thing.
So that's good. Number 4, Hallmark cards.
Hallmark cards.
As the person in charge of the receiving area, you did a lot of returns. And if your store sells Hallmark cards and say it's after Christmas, then the Hallmark representative comes in and scans all of the old Christmas cards and then gives them to you, and you have to, and then they say, okay, this is the count. This is how many Hallmark cards we're doing this transaction. In this transaction, this is how many $2.99 cards. This is how many $3.49 cards there are. This is how many $3.59 cards there are. This is how many $3.79 cards there are. This is how many $3.99 cards there are. And it'll be like 350 Hallmark cards, and you have to count all of them.
Oh God.
Not only that, but you also have to sort them by price so that you can be sure that their count is correct. And then you have to return each and every card individually through our system. And it took forever. And it was a big pain in the ass. And I no longer have to worry about that. That is a weight off of my shoulder.
Good.
Yeah.
That is a big positive.
Number 5.
But in the sorting process, you had to sort by what?
By price, because
By price.
the Hallmark people would give us a credit for all of the cards that weren't sold. So they would go through the old cards, and they would say, okay, so we're giving you this credit based on all of the cards that haven't been sold. So in their paperwork, they would list the cards by price. Okay, so here's 37 $2.99 cards that weren't sold. We're going to give you a credit for these cards. So you would have to count all of those $2.99 cards to make sure that the number that they got was right. Oftentimes it was not, because you're just dealing with some 59-year-old cranky woman who isn't that great at her job.
Yeah.
And she listed that there are 32 $2.99 cards, when in fact there are 38 $2.99 cards. But wait, maybe your count was wrong. Maybe you have to count them again.
Yeah.
And it would take like half of a day, and my mind would melt.
Well, I was just thinking that they would sort by sentimentality.
That would be nice. Sort by quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whoop, seems like nobody cares about Grandpa this Christmas.
Yeah. Number 5 in the positives of firing is along the same lines as number 4. Bookmarks.
Bookmarks.
During the receiving process, during the inventory process, the last inventory that I had to do, I inherited the receiving area, and one of the things in the receiving area was this big basket that was filled with old bookmarks.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the inventory people said that I had to double count that to make sure that all of the cards were there. There were...
Okay. They were just fucking with you. They just had to be just fucking with you.
There were about 850 bookmarks in there.
Yeah.
I had to count this big giant bucket of 850 bookmarks to make sure that the number was right. 850 bookmarks, Bunny.
Oh man.
And this was last year. That's the crazy part, is that it was last year, and some of the bookmarks were so old. We had some Yes We Can bookmarks in there.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Obama bookmarks.
Oh.
We had some bookmarks.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Bookmarks suck ass, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's a positive.
That is a positive, yes.
Number 6, the amount of time on any given week that I spend around angry and possibly crazy and vaguely racist old Midwesterners has fallen considerably.
That's a huge positive.
It's a huge positive. There was one old man, and he would come in once or twice a month, and every time that you helped him, he would go on this lengthy rant about how the Democrats knew that Pearl Harbor was going to happen, but they did nothing to stop it. So therefore, every Democrat is directly responsible for all of the deaths that happened in World War II.
Okay.
He would just go on and on.
We have hit just levels of fucking crazy. I don't even have words for it anymore. You know?
Every Democrat is a murderer, basically. Was his theory. I no longer have to deal with that.
What I kind of find funny, from different news bits and things like that I catch here and there, the narrative right now has gone from Democrats are horrible to progressives are horrible, which
Yeah.
is really fucking curious, seeing as the progressives are the pain in the asses in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So why are the Republicans coming after us?
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah. It's all weird.
It's too weird.
Yeah. So, number 7 in the positives of firing. I didn't have to work the day Billy Graham died.
That's okay.
Just any time that someone famous dies, it's such a pain because suddenly everybody comes in.
Yeah.
And it's just Billy Graham died, and the first thing I thought of was, oh, thank God, because that's going to be like a whole month of people desperately wanting to buy Billy Graham books.
Yeah.
No? Do you have any Billy Graham books? Where's your Billy Graham section?
He did.
Like, I don't have to worry about that. That's good. That's a positive.
That's
like, oh,
I'm going to count that as another huge positive.
Yeah, that is another huge positive. Thank God I didn't have to work the day Billy Graham died. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the gym and I forgot that you had that.
Sorry.
That's cool. Sure.
My voice is really awesome right now for podcasting, honey. Dude, I got hella wasted last night. Number 8 in the positives of firing. I suck at driving in the snow and ice.
Yeah.
I'm just absolutely horrible at it. And also my car.
What do you mean by horrible at it, though?
My car has just no traction at all.
Yeah.
No traction, zero traction. My car just sucks driving in the rain and in the ice and in the everything.
Correction, Steve just needs new tires.
Yeah, I just need new tires. But also, my car just sucks, period.
Okay.
So, like this past week, like there's snow and there's rain and there's freezing drizzle and there's high winds and the roads are just an entire ice rink and like people aren't leaving their houses and school is canceled and we had all of these appointments and the appointments, the doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And they were all canceled and like people just weren't leaving the house. And the one positive that I thought was, oh, Jesus, I would be driving 40 miles to get to work right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do that.
Oh, I would be dancing for joy over that one. Right there.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I would be Tokyo drifting, going down a mountain right now, hoping that I don't crash. That's a positive.
For me, really, it's the other drivers. It's the other drivers that freaks me out.
Yeah.
So I'll just go in the slow lane and be like, you don't like it, pass. Fuck you, But if I would like get out of work or something like that, because I used to work the night shift pretty much. Get out of work 11:30, 12 o'clock at night or something like that. There's fucking nobody out there.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'll just get into the middle lane of the highway, more or less, And if I spin out, I spin out. There's not much to hit here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's positive.
So it's like not so much me hitting something as something hitting me,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
What time is it, Eleanor?
Just now, Bella walked around the corner carrying Eleanor like she was a sack of potatoes. And I think it's her hair, maybe
Yeah.
her hair and her glasses, but Isabella has never looked more like a normal grown-up human being. Like I can see grown-up Bella right now in Bella's face.
Yeah.
She's almost as tall as us, and she needs to stop it. She needs to seriously stop this right now.
Have you
That's all I've got for the positives of firing. It's been a difficult while.
Yeah.
It's been a difficult time for me, Bunny. The first week I kept saying, like, I don't want to leave the house. I just want to hide from society. But I kept forcing myself to go out, and I would go out, and that was good. The second week I'm like, I don't want to leave the house. But then the weather said, no one is leaving the house. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a positive. That's another positive. I don't have to leave the house this week. No one is leaving the house.
Yes.
So let's try and move on. Bunny,
Yes.
Natasha keeps trying to distract me by shaking what the good Lord gave her.
Okay.
Lord, I don't know what to do with this.
Ho
This is all ho-hos and Twinkies, bitch.
hos and Twinkies,
I'm
bitch.
just kidding.
That's what my probation officer used to say.
Nice.
I mean,
Natasha has been working out and eating healthy, and she's gotten me on like a pill regimen. And
pill regiment. I'm making him take vitamins so I
Yeah.
can still have a husband in 20 years.
so and
I'm begging him to go to the gym with me to walk for 30 minutes a day.
well, in my defense, have I gone to the gym? No. Have I bought a gym outfit? Yes.
And that's if Sonny
That's
with
a
a
big
chance
step.
of Philadelphia has taught us anything, that's the important part.
Okay. Let's
Sonny with a
let's write
chance of
this. No.
Philadelphia?
Yes. Sunny
Is
with a
that-
chance of Philadelphia. It's a town where the cast members of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia are raining from the sky. Charlie, Mac, D, and Dennis are raining from the sky.
It was like I said it, and then I realized what I said.
Hey, I think it's gonna rain, and then from the sky you just hear,
DeVito.
"Hey, man."
Oh.
That's good stuff, honey.
Sometimes my brain has no filter and it doesn't process shit before it comes
Yeah.
out of my mouth.
Yeah. Or Tom Hanks's Philadelphia.
No.
Tom Hanks.
It's raining men.
Tom Hanks is helping. Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. I'm so glad I got that on the podcast.
Did you know? Did you that funny? Did you get that?
It's raining men.
Yeah.
That's some amazing stuff.
Oh, no, delete that.
No,
That's
you
bad.
can't.
No, if I'm gonna have a fucking
You can't.
nonprofit that supports LGBT youth, I can't be talking about gay men with AIDS.
Oh well, just
Not
to be
in,
clear,
not the funny way.
just to be
It's
clear,
mean.
Natasha Galindo.
gotta-
Hey,
right.
hey everybody! This has been a prank. I haven't been talking to Natasha this whole time. It was Emerald.
That's right.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
honestly, I could never make those two voices out. Emerald
Yeah,
has
it's-
always
it's
sounded like
difficult.
Tasha
Nobody
to
can.
me.
It's our superpower.
Yeah, it's a superpower. So Bunny, let's do a refresher in case there are any new
before that,
listeners out there.
let me just run through what had happened before the show because it was really
Yes.
fucking annoying.
Yes.
So I set up for the podcast. Everything's normal. Everything looks good. I see I got a couple of minutes. You haven't shown up. Go have a cigarette, half a cigarette. Come in, call you. Let's start the podcast. Well, before that, I had my headphones on, and I wasn't hearing through the headphones. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? So I checked my connections, and the jack going into the laptop, the connector wasn't in there all the way. I
Yeah.
plugged it in all the way, and it had sound. Okay, so
She's hitting
everything's good.
in the face.
Nothing to
Just hit him in
even
the
think
face.
about. Kind of like if you looked at the television and it had a black screen and you were like, "What the fuck?" and you were like, "Oh, you haven't turned it on."
Yeah.
So call you, get ready to start for the podcast, and there's no sound in the headphones anymore. And I fuck around, I look at different things, trying to figure out what's going on with it. And finally rebooted. Okay. Rebooted the whole thing. And when it came up, which was really slow in coming up, but I went and I tested the sound again, and the sound was fine.
Yeah.
And then I called you, and the sound was gone again. How fucking annoying is that?
Very.
No. I'm going to leave your brother alone.
So what were you going to say?
This baby out into the rain.
Okay. I wanted to do a refresher, just in case there are any new listeners out there.
Uh-huh.
So I have 5 kids.
Yes.
27.
Eleanor is roughly, say, 19 months old.
Something like that.
Hold on. Yeah, roughly about 19 months old, 20 months old. And as my wife and I have said numerous times, she is a terrorist.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, think of her brother.
She has taken over this family.
Nobody wants to hear you cry.
She started throwing fits lately, where she wants something, and if she doesn't get her way, she starts throwing a fit and like screaming and crying and like hitting the floor like
Like a
typical,
yeah,
like a toddler does. Yeah, she's throwing toddler tantrum.
Have you tried beating her?
No.
Not nice.
Yeah.
With a big stick.
No.
It's in the Bible. It is in the Bible.
What I have
So you could
considered
totally
doing-
do it, and it's good with God. Beat the shit out of her.
What I've considered doing to her is Thor Ragnaroking her.
Yeah.
Just get like a tiny disc and put it on her neck, and then whenever we want, we can just shock her.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. We just start Thor Ragnaroking her.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I do at school. When the kids start doing that, I walk away. I walk away.
But shocking her is so much more fun. You could hook that up to the
And they could do
clapper.
it. They are the parent. I can't do that, but yeah. They could do that.
Jesus, Eleanor. Ooh, she's throwing stuff. She's so upset.
No. In the crib, shut the door.
Amber, do your magic. So that's our youngest. Really fun time.
Yeah.
My son is named Maxwell. He is 6 years old. And, well, we've been getting a lot of new listeners now, especially since I've got like a following on Twitter and this and that.
Lovely. They get to see how dysfunctional we are.
Yeah, they get to.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Eleanor, look at me.
So I asked my son what he wanted me to say about him.
You behave.
I said, Maxwell, what do you want me to say about you in the podcast? So Maxwell told me to tell the podcast that he knows everything.
Oh.
And that is just like a 6-year-old boy.
I go in better because I already knew that, so I knew him more than he did.
Yeah. Maxwell told me to say to the podcast that he knows everything.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is just like a 6-year-old. Bella is 12. And I love her. She's going through that phase where she's almost a teen, but she's not yet.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of her. The other day, I went up to her and I told her, Bella, I'm proud of you. And then she just rolled her eyes and said, why? And I said, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Because you're at an age where 80% of 12-year-old girls are trying as hard as they can to be just like all of the other 12-year-old girls.
They're trying really hard to be 19 too.
Yeah. But Bella is her own person.
Oh, definitely.
There is no other Bella out there, and I'm really proud of her for that. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of 12-year-olds are just, I'm into whatever everybody else is.
Like, did you see that thing Ashley was wearing? I'm totally getting one at the mall next week.
Yeah, yeah. But Bella is Bella. I'm really proud of her for that. She's amazing. Hey,
it's been fun watching her go from a little girl, because like when we started this podcast, she was a little girl.
Tiny thing, yeah. Talking about President Buckethead. And stuff
Yeah.
like that.
To growing into a tween like she is.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I really lucked out in the child department. Then, pause for effect.
Yeah.
There's the teens.
The teens.
I wrote that in italics.
You would have to.
As of September, we'll have 3 of the teens.
3? There's another on the way.
No, Bella's going to be a
Oh,
teen.
yeah. True. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have 3 the teens.
So right now we have 2 the teens. They're both 16, but Amber is a wee bit 16ier.
Yeah.
16 in June.
And I have really had to come. I have really had to come down on Amber hard lately.
Yeah, for what?
Amber has just been challenging me.
Oh, to duels?
Amber has just been scoffing at me and my authority lately. And so I have really had to put the foot down.
Yeah.
Not the foot. For example, last weekend, Amber came in with her boyfriend and she had something in her hand, and it was like she was sneaking it into the house.
Yeah.
Like she thought I wouldn't see it, you know?
Here, give me this.
So I stop her. I stop her right at the door and I go, Amber,
This A, not the
what the
man.
fuck are you bringing into my
This
house?
A, not the man.
And she said, what are you talking about? And I said, that. What the fuck do you think you're bringing into my house? And she goes, oh, this is just Norbert.
Norbit.
Norbit.
The
This is just-
Dilbert dog?
No. Eddie Murphy's Norbit.
Oh.
Put down. You mean
What
You're
the
bringing
fuck?
Eddie Murphy
You know,
movie.
you think you raised them right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Think you have like good kids that won't make
Yeah.
mistakes, and then next thing you know, here comes your one of your daughters with her boyfriend, and what are they doing? They're watching Eddie Murphy movies.
Oh.
God, why can't you just have sex and do drugs like normal teens?
Here's the thing. You knew, okay? It was a gateway movie.
It was a
Because she
gateway
liked-
movie.
No, because she
Yeah.
likes the Grinch.
Oh
The
God,
fucking
the
Grinch.
freaking
And that was a
Grinch.
gateway movie. Now she watches Eddie Murphy films.
I swear to
Like,
God. I
okay,
swear to
PSA,
God.
keep your kids off the Grinch. I
I
love Grinch.
swear to God, if you watch the Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat movie in this house, you are out of this house. I swear to God,
She likes it.
you will be out of this freaking house. You bring that on my kids. Don't you put that curse on me, Ricky Bobby. In my house, she does this. How dare she?
I'm shocked. I'm
Put that
outraged. I am
Put that Mike
outraged.
Myers movie back in your room right now, okay?
You better hide it under your bed like any healthy teen would.
Yeah.
Wanna see
So
that
then-
film?
So then she's sitting down with her boyfriend to watch Norbit, right?
Yeah.
And then Amber asks, Dad, can we have some of your popcorn? Can you believe the nerve, the gall, the some third thing?
the damn some third thing. No.
So then I told her, no, Amber, you can't have the popcorn because that's the popcorn that we bought specifically for me to have while at work. Oh! Too soon, Amber. Too soon.
Come on, but it was good to be able to pull that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. Can't believe Amber challenging me like that. Insubordinate. You done messed up, Ron. So, Bunny.
Yes.
Let's do some news smatterings, Bunny.
Okay. Yeah. Who the fuck is Fergie? Last time I looked, she was a princess.
That's so funny. That's the first thing that I had on my list of news smatterings. Like it's incredible that you went there. She's the blonde from the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
She's the female.
Okay. Takes the heat off of Roseanne Barr.
To be fair, it really upsets me that people still talk about Roseanne Barr's singing of the national anthem and how horrible she did. It's not her fault that she sang the national anthem horribly. It's the fault of whoever's idea it was to hire Roseanne Barr to sing the national anthem.
No, to be correct, to sing the national anthem horribly. What pisses me off about that whole instance, okay, is I was driving home from work and I heard that Roseanne Barr was going to be singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Which is the only time that I had ever, to this day, heard who was singing the national anthem before they sang the fucking national anthem.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then the next day it was a raging controversy, and I was like, Roseanne was so fucking set up.
Yeah. It's like don't blame the singer of the national anthem. Blame the person who said, you know who would be great singing the national anthem? Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
So then Gilbert Gottfried does what Gilbert Gottfried does, and then people hate Gilbert Gottfried for it. No, it's not his fault. It's whose ever idea it was to get him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, at any time in my life, before or after, the idea of Roseanne Barr singing sounds pretty much in my head how it sounded.
Yeah. Yeah. So you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Fergie sang the national anthem at the NBA All-Star game. She did pretty bad, and people attacked her. But to be fair, I don't think I could have done any better.
You're also not a professional singer.
Yeah, I'm also not a professional singer. But I love.
But she tried. She just came off stupid.
Yeah.
Which is always refreshing to see.
She's always been a risk taker, and that particular rendition just apparently didn't hit it correctly or something.
I liked the response on Twitter that this wasn't the anthem we wanted, it was the anthem we deserved.
Yes, I saw that one.
Right there, baby.
But yeah, Fergie is perfect for singing the national anthem in Trump's America.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the anthem we deserve. Yeah, Roseanne Barr is. Yeah. Gibson guitars. Bunny, did you see this?
I don't think so.
Gibson guitars are going bankrupt.
They are?
Yeah, they absolutely are. Which just blows my mind because Gibson is right up there with Fender guitars as the top two companies in their field. It's like if all of a sudden Dr. Pepper filed for Chapter 11, you know?
Isn't Dr. Pepper gone, or is Dr. Pepper back? I thought Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's still here.
Okay.
I was going to use Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew has quickly joined the list, the ever-growing list of multiples.
Multiples.
Yeah, like, did you know that they make 12 different types of Cheerios right now?
I didn't have an exact count.
There's original honey nut, multi-grain, banana nut, crunchy, crunchy something, berry burst, frosted, apple cinnamon, fruity, yogurt, and then whatever limited edition ones that they're presently making. And don't even get me started on freaking Oreos. That just pisses me off. So yeah, Gibson is in trouble. But the reason why Gibson might be going out of business is because if you are a musician and you're going to get a Gibson guitar, you probably don't want a brand new one.
Right. You would want like a collectible of some kind. Like, I don't know who plays what guitar, but like BB King's guitar or something like that, right? Is that where you're going?
1967 Gibson guitar or a 1978 Gibson guitar. You don't want like a brand new one. Look, I just got it out of the box.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, you want some like older, cooler guitar. Bella, can you stop torturing the baby, please? Yes. Bunny, this next bit of news seems really odd to me, especially considering that it deals with a movie with finger quotes that we covered fucking forever ago.
Okay.
It's kind of weird for me to say this out loud, but there's Kung Fury news.
Kung Fury. Okay.
What's that, right? That's weird.
Yeah. That was I liked Kung Fury. I should watch Kung Fury again. I don't think I've watched it since then.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Kung Fury came out in 2015 after a ridiculously successful Kickstarter. Then the very short, quote-unquote, movie with finger quotes premiered on YouTube. And then there was a period in time where, like, every fourth person in America would not shut up about Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Well, now they are in pre-production for a feature-length sequel.
Really? I don't know if I could handle that for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I would get like a ridiculous fatigue.
Yeah.
You know?
It would once again star the original writer/director/star David Sandberg, who played Kung Fury. But also they have signed up also in the cast David Hasselhoff, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Oh, but nice company for David. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger will be playing the president. I don't know who David Hasselhoff plays, but this is when you know it's getting serious. Michael Fassbender.
Really?
Yeah. I guess I guess so few people went to go see his thriller with the greatest name of all time, The Snowman. Oh yeah, and that Assassin's Creed movie really blew box office records. So I guess him being in Kung Fury isn't much of a stretch.
I can't help. I gain more and more respect for David Hasselhoff to still be out there hoffing it up. You know, I mean, he has got to realize that the only reason he's in anything is because he personally is a joke.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because really, nobody hires. You know, they didn't sit back and say, who would be really good up against Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Hasselhoff. No, that's not how that goes. They're like, who's an idiot? Let's call David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
You know, I
There's-
mean, he is now self-parroting.
Yeah.
I can't say it. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. There's no word yet on whether Hot Rod co-star Jorma Taccone will be reprising his role as Hitler.
Yeah.
No word yet. I'm assuming he is.
Yeah.
And of course, the big news recently, besides Donald Trump constantly tweeting his innocence despite the Mueller investigation closing in, the real big news is Marvel's latest cinematic movie release, Black Panther, which blew away all expectations, raking in, get this, Bunny, over $250. What?
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It blew Hollywood a new asshole.
It totally did, from what I've heard.
So, like on Sunday, they said, "Oh yeah, we're estimating that it made about $200 million." So then on Monday, they said, "Okay, that number was off. It actually made $235 million." So it's become the best February release. It's shattering records. It's also the best African American. It's also the highest grossing African American film to feature vibranium.
Yeah.
It's only the 5th movie ever to open with a $200 million weekend. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think that only 5 films have opened with that much money.
But I have heard nothing of the plot. Do you know anything about, like, what's the story here?
Oh yeah. No, I know what it's about.
Yeah.
I know what it's about. I know what happens at the end. I know what the cut scenes are. The cut scenes. The after the credits. Yeah. I really want to go see it bad, but when you're out of a job and saving money, movies kind of feel like something you can get away with not doing.
Yeah. An extravagance that you shouldn't.
Extravagant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hear black people are beating up white people.
Oh yeah. So that's it for news smatterings this week. We still have a lot of show to cover. We have homework this week, which is about the MTV show Jackass, and I just went insane writing that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I wrote so much about that.
Cool.
And now that I'm looking at it, it's a ridiculous amount. And then I had a really hard time writing notes from the bookstore, but that's that. And then this week's movie, I've got a surprise when we start talking about this week's movie.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to talk about this week's movie. But before we get to any of that, maybe we should take a break. Should we take a break? Should we take a break?
We should take a break.
I concur. We will be right back with more of the Pope on Film after these commercial messages. Do 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 do. Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you. That's good. Yeah.
Wait, in your face.
That was good jazz hands, Maxwell. That was great.
The thing women have yet to learn is that nobody gives Bob power. Bob just takes it.
The fiendish Dr. Wu. I should have known it was you. Your knowledge of scientific biological transmogrifications is only outmatched by your zest for kung fu treachery!
Mr. Cox? Mr. Cox? Guys, I need Cox. Mr. Cox.
Give him a minute, son. Dewey Cox needs to think about his entire life before he plays.
Today's gonna be the best day ever. Yeah, ain't nothing horrible gonna happen today. Let's go play machete fight.
The wrong kid died.
Ain't no 6-year-old boy understand the true meaning of the blues.
I reckon I might.
In the next 15 seconds when you sing, you're gonna have to sing from your heart, and it's gonna be personal. The only way you're gonna do that is to sing something that's so new, so heartfelt that it changes the whole course of American music in one deft stroke. And the whole world stands up in confederacy to notice.
Hi, my name is Dewey Cox, and this is a little song I wrote called Take My Hand. I sure hope you like it.
Take my hand. We're gonna walk through the park.
It's the devil's music!
I promise to have you.
Ain't got no room in my house for no devil spawn.
How?
The wrong kid died.
See that, Mama? That was just unnecessary.
You have got to give up this dream. You're never gonna make it.
And maybe you don't believe in me after all.
I do believe in you. I just know you're gonna fail. I heard you were looking for a new backup singer, Darlene Madison.
In my dreams, you're blowing me some kisses.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
This Oscar season,
It ain't easy to walk to the top of a mountain. It's a long, hard walk, but I will walk hard.
one movie
Walk hard.
will be so much better
The 1960s are an exciting and important time.
and more important
What about you, John Lonnie?
With meditation, there's no limit to what we can imagine.
than any other movie.
I ain't good enough to follow Elvis.
There's two things you need to know. I'm the king, and number two is look out, man! You see how close I came to your head? I could chop a man in half.
I've been scorned and slandered and ridiculed too.
Hey, Dave, I like your girl better. Let's switch.
Dewey, this is my wife.
Did you hear me? I said I want that one. Come on, sweetheart.
But
But I still got a dream and a burning
What
rage.
the hell, Dewey?
I'm in a dark period.
My word and my word was good.
I'm Zeus! I'm
In
Zeus!
the face and I walked as hard as I could. Walk hard.
Dad, I was just wondering if you want to have a catch.
Son, this might sound a little strange, but what is your name again? Are you Danny? Douglas?
Walk hard.
I have a problem! I have a very addictive personality!
Walk hard.
And we're back with more of the Pope on Film. Hey, Bunny, guess what?
What?
No, you got to guess.
Pickled pig's feet.
No. But let's forget that for a moment and talk about something else. Bunny,
Yes.
this is the part of the show right before the homework segment where I go off on a funny and hyperactive segment about everything and nothing. It's funny and pointless, and I swear that I'll get back to that next week. But I just want you to know, I freaking adore you, Bunny.
Okay.
I had what I considered a dream job for maybe about 69% of the time. There was time in California that they were looking for reasons to fire people that worked there for a really long time, and it was a witch hunt. But even then, when I was getting pointlessly written up every second, even then my store said, well, we can't fire Mr. Steve. I mean, there would be riots. People would be so upset. There's no way we can ever fire him.
Yeah.
But anyway, being let go, it really teaches you what's important. And there are some very important things in my life. My wife and my kids and my story time and you, Bunny, and Jeannie, and this podcast. I adore you and I worry about you and I want you to be okay. And when my psychic mind powers told me that something was happening at work and I didn't know what and I had no proof. I just knew that it was something
that
was happening. The first thing I did was tell you guys because you and Jeannie are absolutely family to me.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that you guys know that. So how are you, Bunny? How are you doing?
I went to Starbucks today.
Nice. Did you get an Afro-Cuban CD?
No. Did they have them? I didn't know they had them.
I don't know. The last time I went to
No,
Starbucks.
but you have to realize this was a big thing.
Good.
To go in. Actually, went in. It was awesome.
I really like Starbucks. Starbucks coffee makes you go, well, they must know what they're doing. They're a major company. I guess maybe coffee is supposed to taste this way.
I know. I feel like Dennis Leary, you know?
Yeah.
Who, frankly, I've never found Dennis Leary particularly funny, but yeah, like I want coffee flavored coffee.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's how I've always been with coffee.
And the code you people speak in scares me.
That is kinda scary, yeah. I never wrapped my head around that.
But I get
double dipple,
yeah,
triple
shot, no phone, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of Starbucks gift cards from parents as like Christmas gifts or Teacher Appreciation Day, whatever. So yeah, after Christmas, I have a Starbucks Gold card. I had like $80 worth of credit on my card. So we're still working that off.
Nice.
So other than that, I'm just working through some shit. You know.
Okay.
Which like I can't even describe. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just somewhere stopped being me, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, kind of think like maybe you woke up and you were like, you know, fuck this story time shit. You know?
Yeah.
That's the weird kind of place I'm in, you know?
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the absolute best, Bunny.
Thank you.
And I want you to know, without getting too choked up here, I want you to know how much you mean to me. You're an awesome person, and I love this podcast.
Thank you.
We love you too, man.
Oh, Jeannie's crying.
Not crying, but it is emotional. I do get emotional.
And so, with just a wee bit more ado, it's homework time once again on the old Pope on Film podcast. People of the internet, your attention, please. Cease your dabbing and kindly pay attention. Each week, the dreaded Council of Bookstore Corporate Executives descends from on high and selects a homework assignment via the fiery ritual of carousel. A homework assignment that has been ratified, fortified, and some third wordified with the expressed intent of bettering our listeners, nay, all good people everywhere. So you just stay in your corner, Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah.
You are not allowed. No. I had to describe to 3 different people today who Dinesh D'Souza was over this past few days.
I've forgotten. I know that name.
He's a racist SOB.
Okay. That covers half of fucking America these days.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come a little closer.
Yeah. And this week, we will be attempting to draw a line between 1999's Bam Margera and 2018's Logan Paul with a long-form news article from page6.com entitled Jackass Left a Wake of Pain, Drugs, and Addiction.
Yes. I have to be honest straight up front. I can't help but think, yeah, fuck them. I mean, I guess I'm sorry, but like if anybody did it to themselves. Are you still there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Stop it.
I lost you again, I think.
Sizzling? I'm hearing like a sizzling noise. Do you hear that?
That's Jeannie with the Instapot. Are you hearing him? Okay. I hear you. You're just breaking up a little. Let's just try to keep going.
Eleanor, stop hitting. Eleanor, stop hitting everybody. Man, she is becoming violent. So
She is a terrorist.
Yeah. So this is how it goes. Early 1990s, MTV, back when they still kind of played music videos, the king of stupid cartoon, 2 ghetto food assholes called Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I keep losing you, dude. Let's try replacing the call. All right. I'm going to hang up. You call me back. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me all right?
That sounds a lot better.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me take a bite of my food. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start at the beginning. So this is how it goes. It's the early 1990s. MTV, back when they still kind of played music videos. The king of the network at the time was a very stupid and very cheaply done cartoon about 2 poor, rude, asshole kids called Beavis and Butthead.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, unpopular opinion here, that cartoon turned a nation of teenagers into rude little shitheads who didn't give a fuck. I firmly believe that Mike Judge followed up Beavis and Butthead with King of the Hill as a sort of penance. Like, I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry that I created a whole generation of shitty kids who hate their parents and hate authority and do whatever the hell they want. Basically, Beavis and Butthead created grunge.
Yeah, I can see that.
So to make it up to you, here's 13 seasons and over 250 episodes of a good-natured, down-to-earth American family in Texas.
Yeah.
It was penance.
Well, I think he also needed to show that he himself is not an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, because I liked Beavis and Butthead, but like if that's the only thing on your resume, I'm probably not hiring you.
Yeah. So after Beavis and Butthead, MTV needed something new and unique and different. So they took a chance on a Beatles-taught young musician who created an entire show using a camera, a laptop, a green screen, and a shitload of socks. The show was a quirky underground hit, but a massive ratings failure for MTV. So Syphil and Ollie, which was supposed to replace Beavis and Butthead, Syphil and Ollie was pushed aside after 2 seasons for a crazy, in-your-face, experimental Canadian Andy Kaufman-style prankster named Tom Green.
Yes.
The man was literally picked out of Canadian public access and given his own MTV show.
Really?
Yeah. He would just literally go on the street and start filming and start fucking with people. It was really weird. There's one skit that he did that I loved, and he's just walking down the street and he sees a pigeon on the road, on the sidewalk, and he tries to interview the pigeon, and the pigeon tries to get away. The pigeon is in front of a bank, and Tom Green goes, "Oh, it looks like this pigeon wants to get into this bank. Let's let the pigeon into the bank." So he lets the pigeon into the bank. Then starts filming the bank people. "Hey, somebody let a pigeon into the bank." The show was a hit, and
I always get him confused with Andy Dick for some reason. They don't look alike or anything like that, but for some reason they make the same connection in my head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I liked Tom Green right up to the point where, in his greatest and also worst prank ever, a Hollywood film studio gave him a movie. And then Tom Green said, "Well, only an idiot would give me a movie, so I'm going to go out of my way to make an unwatchable film."
Okay.
Knowing how stupid of a move that was, he went about purposefully making one of the worst movies ever made. He basically conned a movie studio into giving him $15 million, which he used to make a conceptual absurdist attack on both the film studio and the people who paid to see the movie.
All right.
That basically the whole thing was a joke, and you went to go see Tom Green's movie, and then it quickly becomes evident that, like, okay, studio was stupid to give me a movie, and all of you who are watching this are stupid for watching this.
Are you sure he meant to make a bad movie, or is he trying to wheezo it?
It's unclear.
Uh-huh.
Any man has a extended in his movie with Carcass. That's not a.
You are breaking up a lot again.
All I can hear is a bunch of noise. Like it's almost as if Jeannie is literally cleaning top.
Well, she's cooking, but then I get quiet because I'm trying to see if I can hear you.
Yeah.
Which is being a little bitch.
Yeah.
But you're better now. Go ahead.
Okay. Good. Tom Green was eventually replaced / tossed aside, which is what MTV likes to do, by a number of separate groups of violent, risk-taking young men, whom MTV brought together under the name Jackass. It's important to note that these were separate groups.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Steve-O was doing skateboarding videos, and he peppered them with clips of him doing dangerous, dumb, violent stunts. Like he would set his body on fire, and he would jump off of very high bridges and shit like that.
Yeah.
Then, like in the Midwest, there was Danger Aaron and his friends. They were basically doing Super Dave stunts, except they would literally do the dumb stunt.
Oh, okay.
Then Bam Margera, who was very young, he was still like a teenager. Him and his friends they released a series of videos called CKY, which stood for Camp Kill Yourself.
Okay.
Those videos were very popular, like underground videos of them doing really stupid things. MTV saw all of these three groups and said, what if we combine them? So they hired Johnny Knoxville to do one or two stunts and to sort of be the face of this new show. And that's how Jackass was born. In fact, these different groups of people never met each other until season 2.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just never had any kind of interest in this show. I had heard some things about it, and I didn't like what I heard.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I don't want to see them drink their own pee,
Yeah. So this article sort of connects the dots to Jackass back then and Jackass now. I wasn't really into Jackass on MTV because I was still bitter about MTV's treatment of Syphil and Ollie. Yeah. I never really cared about Jackass until their first movie came out, which technically is still the #1 highest grossing documentary of all time.
Really?
Technically, I guess it would be considered a documentary.
Yeah.
What else would you consider it? Because it literally is just a group of people doing stunts. That's not a scripted comedy,
No, not at all.
Yeah. So technically, the first Jackass film is the highest grossing documentary of all time. But even in my 20s, I was like a rational dude. So I'm watching these Jackass guys get bitten by anacondas and get shot in the balls and mauled by bulls. And I'm thinking, what will this do to them in their 40s and 50s? And thanks to this article, we now know their post-Jackass lives were filled with drug addiction, numerous surgeries, and in at least one case, death.
Yes.
Danger Aaron has had a crap ton of surgeries and broken backs. Rab himself, who they really focus on in the article, despite the fact that he was never like a major part of Jackass, he battled drug and alcohol addiction. Steve-O has been in and out of jail, and after the death of his BFF, CKY's Bam Margera is currently in rehab. Yay! At least none of us really have to see Johnny Knoxville anymore. That's a positive. But of all the spin-offs and movies, and Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa, which I never bothered to watch, of all the spin-offs and stuff, I gotta say there was one spin-off they did that was wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like 10 times better than Jackass. It was so good. It was a show called Wild Boys with a Z.
Double flavor.
Yeah. And it was Steve-O and Chris Pontius. It ran for 4 seasons, and it was basically Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom with 2 semi-naked jackasses who don't care about their own well-being.
Okay. Yeah.
It was an awesome show. It was so good. It was so good. And they would literally be traveling the globe, meeting these different animals and just being stupid.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Bad Grandpa, I remember the commercials looked kind of amusing, but not like really funny.
Yeah.
And it also kind of looked like what we were talking about with Kung Fury. Like, I don't know if I could do an hour and a half of that.
Yeah, it just looked like Jackass said, hey, why don't we do a Borat?
Yeah.
That's what I saw Bad Grandpa being.
I think technically it's pull a Borat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, no, if you can find Wild Boys, it's freaking amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing show. Just these 2 guys being dumb in nature. It's really cool. I love it so much. It was so good.
Yeah.
Jackass, not so much, but Wild Boys, that was amazing. That was incredible. Anyway, that's it for homework this week. And we legitimately and respectfully hope, so bitmitfully. We sincerely hope that your hearts, minds, and disastrous credit scores have all been suitably opened. But don't think you're getting out of here that easily, Buck Chacho, which is a combination of bucko and muchacho, verbal copyright 2018, Undead Cow Studios and the Pope on Film. Don't forget next week's homework assignment, and for next week, we're going to be trying to catch up with some old news by reading a vulture.com interview with Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. Okay.
I already sent this to you. It's in Facebook Messenger. Have you heard about this interview?
No.
It covers everything from Michael Jackson to who killed John F. Kennedy. It really is like a batshit crazy interview.
Yeah.
There's like a bajillion things in there. It's a ridiculous interview. So that
would be interesting because Quincy Jones was pretty interesting. And yeah, he was like all over. He was not just Michael Jackson. He was his own dude, you know?
Yeah.
Not like Elvis and what, the Captain and Tennille with Elvis?
The
Colonel?
The Colonel. That's it. The Colonel.
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got involved with Michael Jackson just because, well, he's like the best.
Yeah.
You know? Not like they knew each other in any other way.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a good article. So join us next week for more homework with the Pope on Film podcast. And cut on that. My voice has been better. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My voice has been better. Hey, Bunny.
What?
Let's talk about books. You see, people always ask me, hey, Steve, how have you stayed at work with the same company for so long? To which I say, wow, too soon, Bunny. Too soon. But as is the case with most of the uncomfortable moments in my life, I would like to answer your question with a movie quote. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
Jungle Book was awesome.
Drops Mike, then picks up Mike, dusts off Mike, and puts Mike back on Mike's stand because mics are expensive. People also say, hey, write what you know. And what I know is that Trump can't read.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And that up until recently, I was an employee at my local bookstore for over 17 years. Then they fired me along with approximately 1,800 full-time employees.
Ooh, thanks, Obama.
In a cheap, low-down, underhanded way to have cash on hand to appease investors and probably secretly to hopefully cauterize the bleeding of their failing company. Now, the 1,800, if that is not a gritty sci-fi teen series of books, it should be.
Yeah. That's coming as a recommendation?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there wasn't one already. And when they decided to fire almost 2,000 employees blindly and without taking things into consideration, like how long has this person been with the company, or this other person has physical disabilities, or this person is a wildly popular storyteller with a massive following and he has PTSD from an incident that happened at work, and maybe firing that guy is a huge fucking mistake. But that brings us, sadly, to today, to the shocking series finale of Notes from the Bookstore.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you've already made your fucking brother cry.
She will not stop hitting him.
Get away from him. Get away from him.
She's just been getting toys and just hitting him with it.
Pretty sure we booked this time.
Book this time? Well,
Tiny book, but it was a board book.
and this week's episode of Notes from the Bookstore is brought to you by capitalism. Hey,
Brother, you're sorry.
nice planet you got there. Be a shame if, it was destroyed to make me money. Capitalism. Now, before we get to the nitty-gritty of Notes from the Bookstore, I wanted to start off this last episode of Notes from the Bookstore by discussing the topic that I was originally going to talk about this week.
Okay.
And that is the Llama Llama series of kids' books by author Anna Dudeny. Her books are very popular, and they got even more popular when rappers started rapping the book.
Okay.
There's some radio DJ at some rap radio station, and he had a long running thing where he has a kid, and the kid's favorite book is Llama Llama. So he would have, if a rapper shows up in the studio, he would have the rapper rap the Llama Llama book. And it was kind of a cute little thing and nobody cared. But then some famous rapper showed up. What's the name of the rapper who was also in the Fast and the Furious movies? No, Vin Diesel's not. Method Man, Red Man. No.
Neither one of those men.
But anyway, one of these videos of a famous rapper rapping Llama Llama, he did such a good job. It went viral on YouTube and on Facebook, and suddenly everybody's talking about this Llama Llama series. And now there's a brand new Netflix series, a cartoon on Netflix based on the Llama Llama books. And I am here to tell you to stay far, far away from the new Netflix show Llama Llama. Don't watch it, people! And to explain why, I need... Yes, Maxwell.
Llama Llama is dangerous, evil.
No, Llama Llama isn't dangerous or evil. But in order to explain why you shouldn't watch it, I need to talk about Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
So Dr. Seuss always dreamed of working in Hollywood, working with Hollywood. So in the 1950s, he made a movie. He wrote the script. He helped write the songs. It's called The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and it's weird as hell.
Yeah.
If I tell you, did you know Dr. Seuss made a movie? Whatever you think of in your head, it's about 10 times weirder than that.
Okay.
So it was
That's
too
kind of
weird.
exciting.
Yeah, no, it was too weird for it was too weird for Hollywood. It wasn't a success, and that kind of killed Dr. Seuss's Hollywood plans. Then in the 1960s, television came to him, and they're like, "Hey, we want to do a animated version of one of your books." So they did The Grinch, and that's great. It's wonderful. The animated The Grinch, What Be Stealing All the Christmases.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge, massive success. She's already broken.
Was that really the first?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But then after that, hold on, Mommy's gonna put you in your chair, okay? Okay.
I'll put it right there because I feel like cleaning up. Right?
Okay. So The Grinch was successful, and then the TV people said, "Hey, that's great. We want to make some more animated specials based on your books." And Dr. Seuss said, okay. And so they made a number of other animated specials based on Dr. Seuss books. And I own the majority of them, and I can tell you that they're all shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're all so bad. They're all so very, very bad. The thing that I love about them is that they were all made in the 70s during that Up With People time,
Yeah.
And so in the 70s, most kids movies, most kids shows had that sort of chorus of bland, unoffensive white people all singing in perfect harmony.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, in all reality, just look at the Winnie the Pooh movie, because that has a lot of it too. But all of the Dr. Seuss specials in the 70s all had that. The cat in the hat, zippity doppa doo, wow.
Yeah.
So here comes the Lorax having some fun. Do wow. So Dr. Seuss got burnt. He was burnt out, and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to Hollywood. I'm not going to TV. I'm not going to Burbank. No more selling my characters. I'm done.
Yeah.
No more selling out my characters to Hollywood and stuff. So then occasionally, as he got older and older throughout the late 70s and 80s, and then a little bit of the 90s before he died, Hollywood would come to Dr. Seuss. Okay, we have an idea for a musical. Nope. Don't think so. And then Hollywood would leave, and then Hollywood would come back. Okay, we've got an idea for a cartoon where the Cat in the Hat is teaching kids about science, and Dr. Seuss says, nope, I'm done. And then Hollywood's like, are you sure we have these giant briefcases filled with money? Are you sure? You have so many millions of dollars. And Dr. Seuss is like, yeah, all the money in the world won't change that. Not doing it. Not doing it at all. So basically, Dr. Seuss said, look, Hollywood, as long as I am alive, I'm not selling these characters.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, Dr. Seuss's family is like, please, can you maybe sell a couple of them? Because that money will really help us out. And Dr. Seuss is like, no, as long as I'm alive, I am not going to just whore out my characters. And so the family together just said, okay, well, we're all in agreement, right? That once Dr. Seuss dies, we're going to whore out characters and become millionaires, right? And that's what happened. That's how they made that freaking Mike Myers Cat in the Hat.
That makes sense.
That's why the Cat in the Hat is now on PBS teaching kids about science. That's why they're working on a Grinch animated movie for Christmas this year.
Yeah.
That's why you can now buy the Cat in the Hat on shirts, socks, catheters. Because yeah, he dies and the family instantly went against Dr. Seuss's wishes, and that's how we got the Cat in the Hat movie. Basically, that's Llama Llama.
Okay.
The Llama Llama book was really good. She made a second one, a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one, a sixth one. It started getting popular. And Anna Dudney's like, oh, hey, people are asking me if they want to do a cartoon, if they want to do a movie. And I'm like, no, as long as I'm alive, yeah, that's not happening. Then she unexpectedly died.
Oh,
and
okay.
when she died, her family just said, excuse me, let me step over this corpse. And yes, Netflix, we would love for you to pay us money. But it's important to note that this Netflix show is not what the author of the books wanted to happen.
Oh, okay.
She never wanted any of this to happen. She didn't want Llama Llama toys, Llama Llama action figures. Like, no, she never wanted that. And now that's what's happening.
It's really tough defending your rights when you're dead.
Yeah. But that's it.
I think I saw that on Perry Mason or something.
Yeah, Perry Mason. Force of Habit. Nice. Thank you for that. Well, this is our 40th episode of Notes from the Bookstore.
Yeah.
And sadly, going to be the last episode of Notes from the Bookstore.
Missed opportunity. Fourth and final.
Yeah, 40th and final episode of Notes from the Bookstore. Because I was fired and it still feels surreal. I flip hard between the 7 stages of grief.
Yeah.
5? I think it's 7. We should Google this one of these days. but
I'm
I don't
going
wanna-
5.
I'm going 36.
There's 37.
So anyway, sometimes I'm like, you know what? Fuck those guys. And then I'll go, but maybe they'll take me back. And then I'm like, no, fuck them.
Yeah.
In fact, Bunny, we've
5
talked.
stages.
Yeah, 5.
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
So I flip hard between the 84 stages of grief.
Yeah.
And we've talked on the podcast before about how I have somehow made it to 40 years of age without a major death.
Yeah.
Probably the closest major death in my life was the recent-ish death of my mother-in-law, Janice. And while we're on this subject, the store that shall not be named, Volda Store,
Yeah.
consider itself lucky that my mother-in-law died before they freaking fired me.
Okay.
Because, oh my freaking God, Janice would have killed everyone at that store. Can you imagine what Nana would do? Can you imagine if Nana was alive when I was fired? Oh my God. She would just be on the phone constantly. I want to speak to James Noble. Yeah, she would be going nuts. She would be like leading boycotts and protesting, and like she would not rest until like kneecaps were broken. But losing my job of 17 and a half years, it kind of sort of feels like I've suffered a major death.
Yeah.
Like I lost this job. It was a very important part of me, and now it's gone, and I can't believe it.
The saving grace, though, is that they did not fire you because you were shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, most people get fired because they're shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were a casualty.
Yeah.
People used to say that a store would be crazy to fire me, that I had the best job security ever, that, oh, I entertain kids. Like, if they ever fired me, then there would be riots. People would literally say that to me.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that. I was fired, and the only reason was because I had a specific position that they were getting rid of. You'd think they would take things into consideration, that there would be exceptions, but no, I was fired. So, fuck them.
Yeah.
I gave them almost 2 decades of my life. You bastards took most of my 20s and all of my 30s and a good portion of the cartilage in my kneecaps.
Yeah.
And then you just tossed me aside.
Mhm.
So, fuck you. I still can't believe that I'm fired. I gave them so much of myself. And they just said, we're going to fire you to save money, despite all the articles written about you in the corporate website and in the corporate newsletter, despite your awards, your decades of service. We're going to fire you to save money. So I'm not going to let these a-holes bring me down.
That's right.
I am going to be loud, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to do my story times, and I am going to entertain children, and I'm going to make a name for myself. And screw that company for not believing in me, because I believe in me, and my wife believes in me, and the kids I entertain believe in me, and my family believes in me. Maybe not Eleanor. Maybe not Eleanor. Because she's a terrorist.
Yeah. Totally she is.
But if all of these people believe in me, then I don't need a corporation. So screw you guys. And to loosely quote a line from Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, you just wait and see what I do now. And that is it for Notes from the Bookstore. Forever. Good riddance. Drops mic, then kicks it into a ravine. And then pees into the ravine. And then punches who in the face? And then punches Big Mike in the face?
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
And why does Maxwell know Big Mike?
Oh, so he's a giant microphone. Oh. Oh, gotcha. All right then. Well, well then, Bunny.
Yes.
We still have to talk about this week's movie, and I've got a surprise.
You have
that
a
I'm very
surprise.
excited about in regards to this week's movie.
Cool.
Very excited about that. And I've got the story of the making of this week's movie. I've got a surprising take on this week's movie that I'm surprised I'm going to go there, but I'm going to go there.
Okay.
But before any of that, maybe we should take a break. Should we take a break?
We should take
a
break.
Just gotta taste this chicken.
We're gonna take a break, okay? Say yay! There you go. We will be right back with more of the Pope on Film. Bella, come here. Do that part for me because I'm losing my voice. So you do it. Come here. Come here. Help me out. Help your dad out. He just lost his job. Come here. Help me out. Do the right back with more after these commercial messages. You know the drill. I've been doing the podcast since 2014. Because I'm losing my voice, so help me out.
Something seems off.
Okay, no, you're cut off. Maxwell, come here. He does it perfectly. He does it perfectly. Maxwell, come here.
No.
Maxwell, take us to the break.
Okay. We'll be right back with more than Pope on Film. Commercial man. Commercials.
Okay, first you were scatting, and now you're just doing Big Shack. The thing goes ka ka pa pa pa, sickety pop pop, and a poop 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 poop. Yeah. Eleanor sings along to it. Did you hear Eleanor? She was singing along to that.
I don't think I heard Eleanor at all, no.
The thing goes ka ka pa pa pa, sickety pop pop, and a poop 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 poop. Skia. Yeah, that was Eleanor. Loves it. We're raising her in the middle.
I'd like to speak to you about the passage of the marijuana laws in Colorado.
Podcast.
At a certain point in my career as an artist, I made a necessary decision to discontinue suffering fools. My name is Eric Jodrosh. I had written a book, a bestseller, called The Spoils of Babylon. Thank you, Doris. I had already been roughed up by the Hollywood game with my bestseller, The Spoils of Alabama. That production presumably starring Tuesday Weld and Rod Steiger. I began principal photography on The Spoils of Babylon at some juncture in 1976, and into production abruptly in January of 79 for reasons that I refuse to make clear. Shooting on premium nitrate non-safety 93mm Tri-X reversal stock and Henrik Zeilert's 3x breath-takoscope anamorphic prime lenses. The end result? is nothing less than a masterpiece. The original production of Spoils of Babylon had a running time of 22 hours and was considered, not quite done with that, and was considered too long for network television. Tonight's abbreviated version pales in comparison, and yet, in my humble opinion, is far superior to anything on television today. The cast is perhaps the finest assembled for the time. There's the young romantic lead, Dirk Snowfield, coming off a week-long engagement on the hit television show Telepathy Man. Sir Richard Driftwood, celebrated British stage actor in his first filmed performance, playing an American no less with great skill. And my former wife, the beautiful Gloria Samcake, who left us much too soon. And now lives in Arizona with a man who owns a chain of sporting goods stores. I should have a drink for this part. I should have... No, I know there's 2 drinks. I should have 3. The light has faded on Eric Jean Roche and my somewhat illustrious career as an author. My books continue to sell, but new children fill the playground, and I am old. Old, but not quite gone. As you shall see, I have saved the best for last. Please enjoy part 1 of The Spoils of Babylon.
And we're back with more of the Pope on Film. I've had some Dayquil, so my voice is going to be slightly better for the next 12 minutes. Well then, Bunny, last week we were going to watch the racially themed horror film Get Out.
Yes.
Written and directed by the fat one from Key and Peele. It was going to be one part of a series of Oscar-nominated movies that we were going to cover. Lady Bird, 3 Billboards Outside, Who's a What's It, Molly's Game, maybe The Post. So many big, serious movies with meaning and purpose. Oh, it was going to be great.
Yeah.
Then my job of 17 and a half years decided to fire me for no reason, and I'm sorry, but suddenly I'm not in the mood to do serious Oscar-winning fucking dramas right now.
Yes.
I was just freaking fired. I cannot get myself to sit down and watch award winners.
Yes.
Right. I'm not in that mind frame. I'm not in that mood. What I need right now are some softballs. I can't play pro ball right now, but I'll definitely kick ass at T-ball.
Mm-hmm.
Training wheels, Bunny, training wheels. So I need, for a while at least, to just do some nice shitty movies that I can rip on. Easy movies.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to
Low
kick
hanging
off?
fruit.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit. And what better way to kick off our mediocrity marathon than with this week's film, the 2017 animated sleeping pill, The Emoji Movie!
And I have to get this out of the way right up front, okay? I know it's not going to be funny. I know it's not going to be original, but it happens to be fucking true. This movie was meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Now, before we really break down the film, I have something that I am very excited to announce.
Okay.
Okay. Jokes, Bunny. I have jokes about the Emoji Movie. Zingers, Bunny.
Zingers.
I have zingers.
All right.
And they're pretty good. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They're pretty good. They're pretty good zingers.
They're pretty good
But-
zingers.
But
Mhm.
I haven't said the best part yet.
What?
I didn't write these. I outsourced the zingers, Bunny.
Ah.
So this is what happened.
You
This is what
fucking
happened.
globalist, you.
This is what happened. I was on Twitter and I was having a hard time writing the podcast. And so I went on Twitter to my 1,000 new followers. And I said, just really honestly, I've been trying to be brutally honest on Twitter. So I wrote on Twitter, I'm trying to write the podcast right now, but I'm having a hard time trying to be funny when this horrible thing has happened to me. And then the first person said, well, then don't write the podcast. You have been through a lot, and the last thing you need right now is some invisible deadline hanging over you. Just don't write it. And then someone else wrote back, or how about this? Tell us what you need to write. Tell us what movie you're covering. We'll write it for you.
Really? Okay.
Just outsource the jokes, Steve. We'll come up with some zingers for you. What movie are you covering? And I said, well, this week we're doing the Emoji Movie, and I don't need you guys to write the whole podcast. I just need a few well-placed zingers here and there. So this one specific woman, specifically her handle is at SanderStrong16.
I like the handle.
You get that? What is it? I don't get what that is. What is it? No, explain it.
No.
I don't know what SanderStrong16 is. What is that?
Bernie.
It is unnecessary.
Okay, but what is it?
No.
No, explain it,
is
Bella.
his.
You can't bring that up and then not explain it. What is at SanderStrong16? What does that mean? Fine, screw you, Bella. So this woman who said that, I told her that we were doing the Emoji Movie, and she said, okay, give me 1 hour.
Okay.
And then 45 minutes later, she gave me 4 good-sized zingers.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, these zingers came from Twitter user at SanderStrong16. There are 4 zingers, and I've got them right here, and I'm going to be reading these zingers to you that I outsourced.
All right. I'm
Zinger
I'm
number
excited.
1. Yeah, I'm excited too. I've never outsourced the podcast, so
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. Zinger number 1. If I wanted my kids to get a lesson on pro-corporate consumerism, I would have saved the $9 and taken them to the Apple store at the mall.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Zinger. Yeah. Zinger number 2. When faced with using an emoji now, I'll be using words like the old days, when words like creativity, originality, and independent thought used to matter. That's strong. That's less of a zinger and more of a strong political statement, but
yeah,
still.
and it's probably funny, but I didn't get the word she was using.
Yeah. Zinger number 3. Over time, history will judge the Emoji Movie harshly. Oh. It's judged harshly already. Jesus, just go to the freaking Wikipedia page. But we can't really be surprised as it barely meets the lowering standards of Americans who ultimately gave Trump a path to the presidency. So in that sense, this isn't the animated movie that we needed. It was the animated movie we deserved.
Yes.
This was the Fergie of animated movies, basically. Zinger number 4. I like this one. This really ties together with all the other things we've been saying over the past couple of weeks. In retrospect, the Emoji Movie could be the linchpin clue as to why young people are eating Tide Pods. Thinking about it, and you know it's likely true. Those are my 4 zingers that I outsourced. They were written for me by Twitter user @SanderStrong16. I have followers on Twitter and they want me to succeed, and that's awesome.
That is awesome. And is she a listener? I hope she's listening. That was some good stuff.
She'll probably be listening now.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to have to outsource to her again.
Yeah. Okay, so the Emoji Movie.
Yes.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Emoji Movie. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready.
We're going to talk about the Emoji Movie now, okay?
Okay. I could do this.
So let's talk about the Emoji Movie.
Meh.
Meh. The next thing I'm going to say, I am not proud of.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it anyway because it needs to be said. This movie isn't that bad.
No, that's why I give it a meh, because that's like how I really feel about this movie. It's just meh. Again, I would be happy to watch it if I was stuck in an airport.
Yeah. Or like you're in the hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
The film's biggest crime is that it's a very basic paint by numbers animated movie for kids, but it's in no way the worst movie ever. People, like, the reviews of this are just absolutely atrocious, and people say, oh, this is one of the worst films that's ever been made. Bitch, you've never seen Birdemic, have you?
No.
Oh, the Emoji Movie is the worst film of all time. Clearly, someone didn't see The Room.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the worst film of all time. This is what you need to do. Go to Netflix, watch The Apple in its entirety, and come back to me.
Yeah.
And tell me how horrible the Emoji Movie is. Transformer movies. Now, those are bad.
And where were you seeing these? In the Netflix comment section?
Oh, no, everywhere. Yeah. Let me explain it to you.
All I can say to that is, fucking millennials. Okay? I mean, they don't know what bad is.
Yeah. The Emoji Movie got a 3 out of 10 on IMDb. It got a 12 out of 100 on Metacritic. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it got 9%.
9%. Okay.
And, Wikipedia calls the Emoji Movie one of the worst films ever made. Wikipedia.
No. I gotta totally disagree. No, it wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah.
It was just trite. I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. It was just like I've kind of seen this before.
Yeah. But worst film of all time? No. You're tripping.
Yeah.
If you think this is the worst movie of all time, hell no.
Go back and listen to anything from the month of October.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
except Holy Mountain, I still like that movie a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So the story of the making of the Emoji movie is actually quite interesting. It's very detailed. There's a lot of in and outs. So here is the story of the making of the Emoji movie. A corporation said, "Let's make money." And that's the story of the making of the Emoji movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple.
Nice,
So-
neat, tidy, you know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no need to worry about it any more than that.
So the Emoji movie, horrible reviews, universally panned, 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now let me explain to you why none of that matters.
Okay.
The film cost $50 million to make. And it made $217 million.
Oh, there's a sequel.
Oh, you hated this film? Oh, well, guess what? It didn't matter.
The haters are only giving them more.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that you hated this film. This film was a huge, massive success.
Mm-hmm.
And also, all of these bad reviews were no doubt written by middle-aged white men.
Yeah, you think?
And this movie wasn't written by middle-aged white men. It wasn't written for middle-aged white men. It was written for kids. Maxwell! Come here!
Oh, God, no.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can you step over that? Come over here. Hi, Maxwell. How are you?
Good.
Good. You look a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you and I saw the Emoji movie together, huh?
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I have a part that I like. I need to tell you.
Okay. What part did you like?
I like the poop emoji because when he said in a secret room someone saw, he was like, when they were leaving, the poop emoji said, "I have some duty to do because it is doo-doo." Dino Raku.
Yeah. So you liked the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the only review that matters, right there. Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you, Maxwell. Maxwell liked this movie. Media lists it as one of the worst movies of all time. It's unoriginal, but it's not horrible.
No. But it is unoriginal.
Yeah, no, it's unoriginal. Yeah. But it's not, oh my God, I can barely stand this. This is so horrible. I feel that a lot of people who say that they think this is one of the worst movies of all time are just kind of projecting their hatred of emojis.
Or life.
Yeah, or life.
Either one. What I'm kind of thinking at the moment is like, it's like a lot of the Star Wars rip-off movies.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's like Battle of the Planets. There were a lot. Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates.
We
yeah.
have to see Ice Pirates again.
I was just about to say Ice Pirates.
It's one of those where it's like, man, this really ain't Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of cool.
Yeah. So, I will say, though, that the Emoji movie is historical in that it's the first ever animated movie to be nominated for Worst Movie, Worst Director, and Worst Screenplay in the Razzies.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's historical. The film's all right. There's this one person ruined everything, and now he's on a magical quest to go to these different fun realms and put everything back the way it was. But the magic was in him the whole time, and this woman was really a princess the whole time. Like, no, there's nothing original.
No, and in fact, how similar is it to Inside Out?
Yeah.
You know, that was it. God, I don't even really remember that movie. Something bad happened, and they go on an adventure, and they go to these different parts of her consciousness, and
I think I remember Inside Out. I think.
Yeah, it was a while ago, so
Inside Out was the movie where Sardu the magician is getting women naked and then torturing them. And then there's a midget.
Yeah, the midget was awesome. That was some good CGI.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And fucking Freddie Prinze, man, what a pro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry he killed himself.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I never thought that when I chose the Emoji Movie to do for the podcast that I would end up defending the Emoji Movie, but that's what I'm finding myself doing. There were some parts that I liked. I liked when they were surfing Spotify.
Yeah.
I found that to be original. I liked that. They were surfing music streams.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I liked the part where Pineapple Apple Pen was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pineapple Apple Pen was in the movie. Yeah, because they go into YouTube. Because YouTube is an app on the phone. And I was like, if anything, I'll have to watch this movie again so I can show Eleanor, so that when she sees Pineapple Apple Pen, she shits herself.
She's a big fan?
Huge fan.
Wow.
Not just of Pineapple Apple Pen, but he has another song called I Like Orange Juice. And it's so good. It's so good. She loves I Like Orange Juice. Eleanor has a really strange musical taste right now.
Yeah, give her. She's only like 18 months or something.
Yeah.
We can't really at this point blame her for her butt stupid choices.
Yeah.
Poopy butt.
I mentioned the Emoji Movie on Twitter to my followers because we were watching the Emoji Movie, Maxwell and I got on Twitter and I said, I feel that a lot of the people who have followed me over this past week are only following me on Twitter in the hopes that I'll say something controversial. So for all of those people, here you go. The Emoji Movie wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, I immediately started getting like some person said that I was going to start a riot. Some person said that I was crazy. One person just said, "You take that back." And it's just sorry. I mean, it's an all right film. It's not great, but it's not the worst.
Well,
I've seen a lot of shitty movies.
If any of those people are currently listening, I would like to say you're all really big pussies. Okay, you're all really big pussies. We have been through the fucking war, bitches. You don't know what it's like until you're standing up into your knees in mud, having flashbacks of
the Beast of Yucca. Go watch The Beast of Yucca Flats and Red Zone Cuba, and then come back to us with your critiques of the freaking Emoji Movie.
Fucking novices.
Go back to your house, get on YouTube, search Monster a Go-Go, and when you are done, you come back here and tell me how this $50 million animated film was so bad.
Prince of Space. Okay.
Yeah. Manos. Manos. Even with Joel, that is a horrible movie to watch.
Yes, it is.
The master would not approve. That is all I've got for this movie. Do you have anything?
I don't think I can have anything to add to that.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited now to talk about next week.
Okay.
Okay. Check the cough. I'm so excited. I'm so very, very excited. Next week, 2 words.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited because pretty much everyone in the house watched this with me.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but like everyone saw this with me. It was me, and it was Maxwell, and it was Amber, and Bella watched some of it, and Mommy watched like 60% of it before she left for the gym. The majority of the family watched this, and oh man, we all have a say in this, and I'm very excited because most of the time it's just me watching something.
Yeah.
This time I got the whole family involved, and we all just couldn't believe it. Oh my God, Bunny! Next week, Justice League.
Justice League.
Justice League. Not only that, but I did a marathon because I got a copy of Justice League, but then I thought I never actually got around to watching Wonder Woman, so I should watch Wonder Woman before I watch Justice League. And so I had like a marathon, so I'll be talking about Wonder Woman too, because I've got freaking issues with that film.
Really? Okay, good.
Oh God, freaking Wonder Woman.
Are you sure you just don't hate women?
I didn't like that film at all.
Well, then you hate women.
No, but I'm also happy because Emerald was like, wait, is this supposed to be good? And I'm like, thank you for that. I just feel that because it was a milestone in cinema, that people gave it more leeway than they should have, you know?
I could see where I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say there, but I could see where you're coming from, definitely.
Yeah. And then Justice League, Jesus Christ. So let me explain the characters in Justice League in case you don't know. First off, there's Night Owl. Because that's all that Batman is. That's all that Batman is. He's the Night Owl from freaking Watchmen.
Okay.
They redid the outfit. He's literally just Night Owl now. So there's Night Owl. Then there's Wonder Foreigner.
All right.
Then there's Super Corpse. Oh, and then there's Peter Parker as the Flash.
Yes.
Oh, and my favorite character in the whole film, Aqua Bro.
Aqua Bro.
Yeah, Aqua Bro. Yeah. I'm surprised that one of his many tattoos wasn't just like a barbed wire tattoo around his bicep. Maybe a Monster Energy drink logo on his chest. But yeah, oh my God, this movie. I'm so excited to talk about it with you next week. So that is next week.
Okay.
Justice League, homework. We're going to be discussing Quincy Jones' interview with Vulture.com. I already sent you the link.
All right, cool.
And next week, we're going to have a very exciting Steve's Historical Approximations. We're going to be talking about science and chemistry and nun's urine. Very excited about that. But now that we're at the end of the show and we're looking back at this show, I got to say, I think that this was a pretty good episode.
I think that this has been a pretty good episode, technical issues aside.
Technical issues and screaming babies aside, I think it was a pretty darn good episode.
Yes.
Maxwell says that he thinks what? Oh, yeah, no, you're just tired. Go to sleep. I concur, Bunny. I agree wholeheartedly.
So until next week, I am Bunny Williams.
And I am Reverend Steve saying thanks for listening, and on behalf of the whole family, I just want to say thanks for listening, and we will see you next week, you godless heathens. Do 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 do. Cut and print.
I'll take that as a yes.
What?
The ring.
The world remains in mourning after the death of Superman. Violence, acts of war, and terrorism are all on the rise.
I had a dream. It was the end of the world.
Invasion.
I think it's something more. Something darker.
We're asking people we don't know to risk their lives.
Strong man is strongest alone. You ever heard that? That's not a saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is. Divided. We are not enough. The world needs Superman. I made him a promise. This is why I brought you together.
Ride ain't over yet.
My man.
Oh, awesome. That's a bat signal. That's your... Oh, sorry. That's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.